right, Junie, we gotta get stuff for the goats, okay? So it is Monday when I'm shooting this.
Mommy,
Probably.
I don't want to go in the goat pen.
Okay, you don't have to. So it's probably Tuesday when you guys are seeing this. But I have myself set up.
I want to throw a goat pen over.
Oh, you want to throw it over?
Mm-hmm.
So it's Tuesday when you guys are probably seeing this, but every Monday is when I worm the goats. You guys remember I was talking to you all about that. So I've got the schedule posted up here, which is really nice. I went ahead and went in and made copies of this. So it tells you like the date. So week 3 today is the 29th, I think. And then all I have to do is a formula 2. So I'm gonna go in, check it off. I got my wormer. I got my Junie bee. Are you gonna help me? All right, well you hold this and let's go outside and take care of the goats, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I not want to get my new shoes wet. And I not want to get my new...
You got new shoes on?
Uh-huh.
Show me, girl. Ooh wee. Are you doing chores in your jammies still? Are you doing chores in your jammies?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, Mama's gonna get the door for you.
Whoa. Mom, there's a spider.
There's a huge spider. So my plan was to get the goats moved this weekend, but we had friends over. It was a fabulous time. All the carbs, all the homemade pasta and sourdough. And then Charlie starts school next week. So we had to go back to school shopping. So the plan is to get them moved this week. I've got to start milk training them. So it worked out okay because the milk stanchion's in the wrong stall. I have quite a bit of like cleaning up in there. So that's gonna be my list, you know, on my list of things to do this week is just get that milk barn totally ready. Hey girlies, you want some food? Come on, Ivy June. It's a little hot this morning, but y'all, I can tell fall's coming. I can tell fall's coming. I'm here for it. There's like a nice breeze going. I've got my little helper coming. Ivy June, where are you? So we have been trying to get a good system on our farm. So the little piglets that we had, we have all of them sold. We're keeping 2. And so they're weaned off of Mama. This week, the last 3 that are on our farm, the new owners are coming to get them. They're actually gonna be breeding stock for them, which is actually really cool. It's someone that we sell flowers to right now. So we know them, we trust them, they're pretty close. So we're gonna be moving around animals. Hopefully the goats will go back to the goat yard. Simba will be in here, the chickens, we're getting a new flock of chickens sent to us, which we're real excited about. Some beautiful egg layers. We have a lot of tasks, but really just trying to get everything set up because I'm pretty sure Nathan has his eye on some new animals. And so before that happens, we have to kind of put some systems in place to make sure that we're setting ourselves up and the animals up for the best success. So the new animals that Nathan has been looking at bringing on the farm are sheep, and we've talked to you guys about this quite a bit. You really kind of need, depending on what your goals are, but for us, we had the goats, which are going to be my breeding goats. I see you girls. But then we really did need the sheep too to help kind of keep things down in the pasture, and the goats do an okay job at that, but not as great as we thought they were going to. And so it's like what the goats won't eat, the sheep will. And so it really is trying to like figure out that perfect balance and harmony of it all. And you'll see a lot of people who practice permaculture, like they have all these different components with what they're planting, the animals they're bringing in, the perennials. They're very, you know, heavy on like these perennial trees and these native grasses that all play a really, you know, intricate piece in that whole permaculture process. And so for me, that's been really interesting to kind of study that myself, just to be like, how do we best utilize our land to kind of make sure that we're getting the most out of you know, our animals, the space that we have. Hey girlies. You better eat all of that. You better eat it all. So if you are familiar with permaculture, oh my word. Simba, did you kill that? Y'all. You want a surefire way to give me a heart attack? Did you kill that? Did you kill it? So I'm walking into the chicken coop. Well, headed to the chicken coop. My heart is racing. Y'all, I love living in the country, but I'm a chicken. Like, I'm a chicken when it comes to certain things. Like snakes, I don't like, you know, the normal. But it's a dead possum right here, which I'm assuming tried to make its way into the chicken coop to get a chicken. And thankfully, we have our trusty guard dogs that do what they're supposed to do. So that's great. Oh, Lord have mercy. May you rest in peace and leave my chickens alone. All right, week 2 of things you don't want to see in your chicken coop. When we went to remove the snake was gone, I guess because we had been messing with its stuff. So that's great in a way. But now we have the possum problem. So I'm just trying to examine everything, make sure we don't have any missing chickens. Not exactly what I had on my list of things to do today. But obviously, when you live on a farm, it throws you some curveballs, doesn't it? All right, all of our chickens are accounted for. We have no eggs, but they have been laying ever since that snake got out of there. The chickens have been laying regularly. I do think we still have some that are kind of laying out in the pasture. And we have a couple chickens who hang out in the duck little area, the duck run. So that's something Nathan and I were talking about, trying to close that up a little so that we don't have to worry about them going up there and laying. But thank the Lord for guard dogs. Once I get done with this video, I'm gonna scoop up that possum and get rid of him. But back to what I was saying, if you practice permaculture, or you have researched permaculture, I would love to know some resources. I actually have a friend, Angela. She is over at Axe and Roots Homestead. She's on Instagram, and I want to say she has a YouTube video. She lives in Jersey. You guys, she is a beautiful resource for permaculture. She is utilizing all of these different approaches with her animals, with her growing techniques, with compost. I mean, it is just, she does it so well that that's really what kind of got me interested in, like, you know what, I want to kind of deep dive into this permaculture approach, especially since Nathan is wanting to utilize animals. So she's got Clydesdale horses, she's got sheep, she's got chickens, she's got duck. She has a lot of animals, but she's a plant-based homesteader, which is really interesting to me because she's utilizing all of these animals for what they bring to the table. Now for us, we would use the sheep to graze and help with, you know, field management, but we would also put some of those up in the freezer because that is really important to Nathan. And if we're gonna grow our own food for our family, even though I'm not consuming it, it is really important to me that we do that in a sustainable way, that we're raising our animals, that we feel good about that entire process. So I would love to know if you know any, you know, books, resources, YouTubers, blog posts, whatever, regarding permaculture. That's something I'm wanting to kind of spend time researching more this winter when I have a bit more time to kind of devote to that. Y'all, I still can't believe I just walked up on a dead possum. They're way more disgusting in person than you think they are. Listen, y'all better lick that worm up. I was a little worried about that, them not like eating all the worm or it falling off the grain some. And when you order the Molly's Herbals, they send you with this like recipe where you can make these like kind of protein balls for your goats or whatever animal it is that you're giving the wormer to, and mix the wormer in with them, which I thought was pretty interesting. And you could make a bunch ahead of time and just pull out 2 each week when you need to worm them. So I may look into that a little bit too. Look at that pepper. I am still preserving peppers from the harvest last week. So I'm gonna let these sit for a minute. Check out that banana spider. My girls are obsessed with these. I don't think I've showed you guys my ginger yet. We've got ginger planted here. We didn't plant near as much as we did last year. So last year we planted a full bed. We don't have a full bed this year, mainly because we didn't really even need it. We harvested 93 pounds, 97 pounds of ginger last year, I think. So cool. Really wanted to grow turmeric, but we couldn't get any of it to sprout. So that's something I'm just continuing to try to like troubleshoot and figure out. But we have it all behind here. What you do is as you start to see that rhizome come up from the soil, you'll just heal up the soil. So we'll go through, and as it continues to grow, we'll just keep kind of bringing up soil from both sides. And this will grow tall and tall and tall. And then we will harvest it later in the fall. And we use this for elderberry syrup. So we partner with our friends and they use this for elderberry syrup that we sell on our website, which is really cool because we're able to sell syrup with ginger grown on our farm, which Nathan and I think is really cool. And if you've never grown ginger before, it's pretty hands-off aside from like walking in and, you know, occasionally hilling it up. You don't really do a lot with it. We grew all this ginger from ginger that we had harvested last year. So that was pretty nice. And it just grows so well. It grows exceptionally well in a high tunnel because it's covered. You don't have to worry about the elements, but this has been really fun. And so last year we had it on the complete opposite side of the tunnel. This year we flipped it and put it in this bed. And then we still do have kind of the rest of this bed to play around with and figure out what we're gonna do. Now we've got some of our peppers coming on back here. One of these varieties was the ahi pepper. I don't see it setting fruit yet. So you guys know I find a lot of joy in sharing my life with you guys, but I also feel super called just to be really, really transparent on what it looks like running our farm, what it looks like running a business, troubleshooting things. And sometimes like things go well, right? Sometimes the gardens look perfect, everything's manicured, all the animals are healthy, everything is great. But then sometimes crap kind of hits the fan and things aren't well. And I don't think that's where we are right now. But when I was down having surgery and recovery, that was a 2-week process. You would be surprised how much things can go sideways in a 2-week process. I'm in the high tunnel. Yeah, I'm back here. And so when you're used to being hands-on your crops, on your animals, I'm used to having my system that I do every single day. I had someone coming and like tending to stuff, but the things that I do every day to help make maintenance easier, coming through weeding a bed, like every week we have a cultivation schedule. You know, every week I'm transplanting or direct seeding or starting seeds or whatever it may be. I have such a schedule, and when I wasn't able to do... Yeah, I'm right here. And so when I wasn't able to do that for 2 weeks, things kind of went haywire. And so I am experiencing a little bit of like, holy cow, I got a lot of like damage control, if you will. The tunnel looks a little mad. Like I've got beds I need to cultivate. I need to just clean out walkways. You picked a flower for me. Thank you.
I picked it by chicken coop thing.
You picked it by the chicken coop? Oh, we gotta keep our dress down.
Back.
So I'm in a season of feeling, I don't know that overwhelmed is the right word, because I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just recognizing that there's a lot of things I need to get done because we're in that massive transition here on our farm. So I like to have a clean slate. I like to go into each season feeling prepared, feeling like the farm's got structure and order. And right now things feel a little bit chaotic, and usually I would get really overwhelmed by this, but I think I'm trying to be really mindful that I just had emergency surgery. I was physically down for 2 weeks and couldn't physically do these things, and my body has to be the first priority. And so I'm trying to just come out here now, get myself back into a routine,
Mama,
start cultivating
I'm trying to
beds.
touch that.
That's a spider. So I say all this to tell you guys, you're gonna have beds that aren't cultivated. You're gonna have some parts of your farm that are a little crazy, and it might just be situational based off of what you have going on. Kind of like I am right now. That's okay. Give yourself grace. I'm giving myself grace. Isn't that right, Junie?
Yep.
What do you think about my tunnel? Is that a hot mess?
Yes.
Yes? Is that okay though? Mommy need to clean it up a little? Yeah. Are you gonna help me?
Yes.
We're gonna take old plants to the compost pile.
Yeah, but I'm trying to pet the green pile.
You're trying to pet the spider?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would do that. Look, that you see Maybelle right there? That silly goat climbed through that fence. So now we gotta go get her and move her back over there, okay? Oh, you wanna help me do that? Back to where she belongs. So one of Nathan's massive projects is fencing.
But Mama,
Yes.
where did Pida go?
I don't know. So
Lovey hiding
look, here goes Millie. So they are literally climbing up and over the fence. Simba's getting through our one paneled gate. There's a thin layer at the top, like a thin hole. He's actually climbing up through that and getting out. It's an issue, and so we have hot wire, but it's not strong enough, and where the power charger is a bit shaded. So Nathan has got to move that, run new wire that is stronger so that our animals can't get out. So this is actually the part of the gate that Simba keeps climbing through, and he's tasted freedom now. And then down there where the creek is where they're kind of stepping over and getting through somehow. So this is when I start to be like, oh Lord Jesus. But I think writing out your task and your chores is really helpful. So for me, my chores for the week are cleaning out the milk barn, moving the milk stanchion, getting all the goat supplies situated so that we can move the goats back over there so we don't have to worry about them moving into another pasture, while we can try to fix some of these fences. So that's a large, to-do list for me this week. Cleaning out the high tunnel, making sure it's all ready for our fall crops. And then one of the big tasks that Nathan is going to take him several weeks to do is pull new electric fencing, move where that power station is, like that solar, the solar panels down by the pigs.
I want to go inside.
Okay. The solar system is down by where the pigs are, which is kind of shaded. So he's having to move all of that, which is quite a big task. And with Nathan working outside the farm, he just does what he can do each day when he's home from work or on the weekends. And I don't ever try to put pressure on that because he's doing so much already for our family. So it's like each day, chip away at a task that we can do. Bye, June.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, you guys, that's a wrap. Wormed the goats, found a possum, checked on the tunnel. It's a normal day on the farm around here. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and Junie today. I'll talk to you soon.